I guess I could start with my opening statement of a question by just asking, what the fuck? Seriously, what in the fuck did I watch? I just... Let's just start from the beginning here. Shit went down between I Must Destroy All and Mr. Repsion from this case. I'm not even going to point any fingers at anyone in any situation in any case of this matter, because I'm not focused on that anymore, because we fast forward a little bit through a little bit of some sort of a timeline period where after video response to video response to video response, you had Kazoom, who made his video response to I Must Destroy All. Then we have someone by the name of Blackgaurd316. From the first video that I saw, him getting a temper tantrum over drama he didn't need to get himself involved in, really just had me either wanting to bash my head against the desk, and I've said that many times before, or place my head into the two palms of my head and just scream my loving fucking life out of me. Yeah. It's that stupid, it's that much moronic, and it's just that much cringe-worthy to even describe that describes this person as nothing more than a piece of shit. Yeah. As a matter of fact, and he's got like a little label on his video now because Gnarlyrants had a re-upload of his video because he decided to take that video down over the response he made to I Must Destroy All. Yeah. And now all of a sudden, since Gnarly actually re-uploaded the video, he decided to threaten him. Blackgaurd316 decides to threaten Gnarlyrants over a video that he re-uploaded. This is basically the same kind of thing, and I'm not using this in any way to be an asshole, but I'm just saying, back in the whole case of Life in a Tent when he took down his earthquake video, it's an example I'm just using. He took down his video, and people still trashed him for it. Well, I mean, removing a video does not remove the mistake you made. The mistake you made is still within the minds and within the hearts of people that actually think about what you have done. Taking down that video will not take away the message that you responded to people by saying. And so when you took down your video, Gnarlyrants decided to actually have the video re-uploaded just so that way everyone can see what a fucking douchebag that you really were behind the fucking video. And you decided to threaten Gnarlyrants with another video response that was actually directed to Gnarlyrants itself. And now, this video right here, after your channel was terminated by such means, you know what? I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble here and just try to actually go back forth and just listen to this part right here, which really just irritates the fuck out of me so much. Let me share with you. And by the way, Blackgaurd316, this is criticism right here, so bite me or kiss my ass, because I don't think there's anything you can do at this point, because this is basically legal for me to give my criticisms over the video that you have made. But I want to at least just play a little part of it.
At your channel, you'll see that's all you fucking do. You point out anybody you think is vulnerable, anybody you think is, you know, susceptible or has thin skin or whatnot, and you go ahead and attack this person until they just say fuck it and they leave. And then you still continue to talk shit behind their back with the fucking mask on and disguising your fucking voice.
Okay, a couple things I need to say here. Why does it matter if, hypothetically or theoretically, if MDA wears a mask? Why can't MDA just be MDA? That's like saying, you know, like Robert Frost girl does rants, all these other people who wear masks just because... I'm just so tired of people who use that because you wear a mask or distort your voice or anything that your opinion is now invalid. I'm getting sick and tired of that statement being thrown out. And for the point for this person to say, well, MDA talks a lot of crap behind people's backs, and, you know, he picks on vulnerable people. When has MDA's channel ever been about picking on vulnerable people? I mean, sure, we make mistakes when we try to call someone out on something, but the point of it is, if something is wrong, or to the point that it feels wrong to people, or to MDA himself, they're gonna call him out on it. Smosh is actually one of the perfect examples when they came to the whole $250,000 scam, when it came to the whole processing of a game, which I don't even think that even came out. Or how about the time when he actually called Outback Zach on something, and despite Outback Zach being one of my good, bleh, I am off on the grammar today. Good influences to that point, MDA actually had a good civil conversation with him, even though by calling him out over something that he made a video on, which was regarding YouTube partnerships. So, how is it MDA is the person who's bullying someone? I simply can't fucking get it.
You're a fucking pussy. You're a coward. You're just a scared little punk who's got no fucking job, no fucking life. You're never gonna aspire to anything. You're not gonna make any fucking achievements.
So, okay, so you're basically assuming that you know MDA, that you basically assume and know that he lives in his mother's house, his her basement bathroom, has no job. How do you know this? That's another argument that I just can't seem to just take seriously anymore, because one of the rules about YouTube is that you may not know the person fully behind the scenes. It's in front of that camera you can only see. Unless you know that person personally, like face-to-face, like some certain people I know personally face-to-face, you're not going to know anything about them. That's one of the golden things right there that you should probably know about YouTube. Oh, and as for you actually calling a lot of people out, being so butthurt about a situation, if someone is doing something wrong about it, it's going to come to our mind. And you actually use the same type of argument, saying that, oh, there are bigger things going on, which I can agree. Obviously, that there are bigger things going on, like I've actually stated out before, that there are other things in other countries, warlords, tyrants, drug lords, all that fucking shit that we're trying to deal with. But basically, you're just doing the same fucking thing as Onision. It's Onision standards, ladies and gentlemen, from one of his arguments that he's saying from the very beginning. Don't believe me? Just go to the beginning and you'll hear him say that there are bigger things going on. Let's continue.
It's kind of like the hillbilly gym guy. It's like DD214 or never fucking happened.
I'm going to fast forward real quick, because I know we don't have much time, but I want to fast forward a little bit, all the way to a little bit to halfway.
Engage in an argument with somebody. The goal is usually a compromise or to come to some kind of middle ground.
To a middle ground, but yet you threaten people. Yeah, that's just...
Perhaps even in the end you can agree or disagree. However, with you little tweens, you're always right.
That's not what this is about. No one is always right. That's not what the whole entire case was about. When MDA decided to call Mr. Repsion out on something, and I'm just saying this as an example because I fast forward through this. I've already seen the video, but I wanted to fast forward to some of the points that I actually want to go through here. But an example was when MDA called Mr. Repsion out on some bullshit and some of his lies and hypocrisies, which is the same thing I could call him out on his lies and hypocrisies, because he tried to do something to a good friend of mine, that it wasn't just concerning MDA, but it was concerning someone else who actually had a problem with him. If you could only see that very closely, which maybe you have, maybe you've talked things out, I don't know. But at the way you're going, you're making yourself look like an ignorant twat. The attitude, the way you present yourself, the way you present the arguments, and the way that they just feel so stale, and using the loser argument and saying that you know them and all that, really just creates this reputation of you as, oh, I don't know, the filth that's under my fucking foot. And as for the little army argument that you use against, I guess it was Vlog and other people, being that because you're in the army, you're right. Oh, yeah, and you're basically the second person to actually make that argument that I've ever seen. That, to me, is just someone who's just full of shit. Just because you're in the army does not mean that you're always right all the time. I could respect what you do in the army, but that doesn't mean that you're always right and I have to actually kiss your ass, or anyone else has to kiss your ass. And that's saying, oh, you're right because you served in the military. Well, boo fuckity hoo for you, because I know people that actually served in the military. And as a matter of fact, I have a good friend of mine who's actually in South Korea right now being stationed. So in case anything happens in North Korea, he's there. But he's not going to justify anything because he served in the military. Neither is the family that I had that served in the military. But I'm not going to go into depth in that. By the way, this is going to be part 1 of 2, because there are certain parts of the video that I want to point out, but I don't really have all the time for it, so we're going to chop it up here.
And it's never your fault. You never do anything wrong. I got news for you. You're going to find out real quick that it's not that way. You stole my video. Blackgaurd stole my fucking video. Gnarly stole my video.
Tell me how Gnarly re-uploaded something because you decided to hide it from the public eye. Blackgaurd called you out on it. I Must Destroy You All called you out on it, I'm sorry. How is that stealing? Because according to the copyright law, because I'm basically kind of doing almost the same thing, because I'm actually only showing the audio, or displaying the audio, that we're calling you out on the certain bullshit points that you were presenting, as long as we're not presenting that the video is ours. Like, say, if I was using your video and claiming that it is mine, then that is a violation there. But if we're using the video, calling you out certain points of your video about what we feel is wrong, not that we're always right if that's the case with you, but if we feel that there's something wrong with that sort of point, that we're going to use part of that as a part of the criticism, and there's technically nothing illegal about it. So don't sit there and justify yourself, okay? Because it makes you look like a dumbass.
And, you know, I got 2 of them taken down. And I'm working on the 3rd one right now. And Vlog, I hope you go down in fucking flames.
So you like to censor people. Very good judge of character right there. You flag anyone down who calls you out on your bullshit, or at least tries to tell you you're doing something that kind of clearly no one appreciates. Well, hate to break it to you, buddy, but I guess I can admit this safely because you did threaten Gnarlyrants. But I actually flagged one of your videos. Legitimately. I said it before, and I say it again back then when I was living in the other house, that I do not flag videos unless it's fucking legitimate, and I had a legitimate reason. So, get mad all you want. It's not going to help. This will be part 1. We're going to continue on to part 2. So, enjoy the ride on the next one. Peace.